G'day guys, Darcy Design to Impress, and today we're working on an R35 GTR. Now, they look like a new car, but this is the same car that was the MTX GTR. So it had the wrap on it, and it's just all been removed by the owner and had a few other little transformations and whatnot. So since the last video that we posted on this, we're going to do an update video, and basically we ran out of time to try and get all the filming done at the time that I finished the job. Had to get back and go to a couple of little shows and whatnot, so we never got time to film the rest. So that's what this video now is, basically an update to show how the rest of it all turned out, the front head unit mount and the cameras, as well as the moulded fiberglass center console with the AccuAir touchpad in it. And then now you can see that it's all obviously changed in the wrap and everything as well. So wrap's come off back to the original color. It's got a carbon fibre body kit and a carbon fibre boot, and yeah, just makes it look a bit cleaner and yeah, not as out there, even though it's still a very out there car and it still looks pretty cool. So let's jump in. So in the last video we had finishing up the actual airbag system of this. We still had the touchpad left and the head unit. Now, given that it was so long ago, I've seemed to have misplaced all the footage that we had of building all that. But basically we started off with the touchpad, made up a touchpad mount that was the like a holder out of acrylic for the actual touchpad to slot in, and then cut up the dash or the center console panel and cut out a slot for that to fit in. From there it was gluing that in and epoxying it in, and then starting the fiberglassing, so sanding everything back, fiberglass layers, fiberglass filler, and then final Bondo filler, or just a regular filler that's easy to sand. Then sand it, prime it, work out imperfections, sand it, prime it, sand it, prime it, sand it, prime it. But basically by the end of that we've finished off with a satin black to try and match some of the interior. Obviously the factory one was like a reflective silver, really hard to sort of match because it's almost plated. It's like an actual metal rather than just a paint. So it was really hard to try and replicate that. So rather than try and replicate it, we just matched other parts that were in the dash. So that was then done and installed, which I'll show you very shortly how that all turned out. And then we had to tackle the actual head unit itself. So the head unit was already fitted in the car. Previously it was just hooked up, but it was just sort of sitting in there with rags shoved under it. So it was our job to get that mounted and make a little trim channel for it. It's a bit it was a bit sort of complicated to try and get in that position because it's not really made to fit in there, but there was room for it. So trying to go off an existing bracket and make up everything to try and get it to fit on the angle that we needed, and then work out the shapes for the front fascia and how to hold that in. But in the end it turned out not too bad, not perfect, but it's definitely better than rags shoved in under there. So let's jump in and have a look at how it turned out. Alright, so we're in the car now. So this is the touchpad. Obviously you can see that this is the piece that we did all the work to. So it used to be flat sort of on both sides. So we built this corner up here and brought this corner out to hold the touchpad housing. Then that sort of finishes off in a satin gloss finish to try and sort of matte satin, whatever colour it is. To try sort of match some of the black so it doesn't look too out of place, which doesn't look too bad because it is a central point. It sort of could be a bit different colour and it won't really matter, but this is the silver I was talking about. It's actually like plated, so it's too hard to try and colour match in a in a paint. So that's how we finished that one off. Now under here we've got the head unit. So we made this trim panel to sort of match the contour there. It's not perfect, there's a tight, like a bit of a gap in here, but everything's sort of flexed when you're trying to work out sizes and whatnot, so it's not the easiest to try and get into a spot that it's not really meant to be. But we made actual mount ups. This is all mounted in behind using the factory points for the actual existing head unit. And behind there, the actual existing head unit is still there, or the factory head unit, sorry, is still actually behind all this, because it had to be retained for some function. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was part of the loom for this to work, and that's the aircon controls as well. So I think it was something to do with that, but I can't remember. It's been too long now. So so we'll give you a look. Turn this to on. All right, so you can see there the touchpad all lights up. Everything with that works. Let's turn this down. Yeah, head unit works there, so you got steering controls and everything that still work with the head unit itself. Now, so we've got this button in under here, and when you push this button, it triggers a camera. So that is your front camera. So there's a camera at the front lip to make sure that the lip doesn't hit. If we put it into reverse, the reverse camera comes up. If that one's to load, come on. Drop that down a bit, it might work. There we go. That's reverse camera. Push the button. Oh, we're still in reverse, sorry. That's front camera. And reverse takes priority, so if you're back, it goes to the reverse, and then we're back to the front. So when we on startup, so you can hear then on startup it does a 3-pulse purge, which that's just linked to the drain on the tank. So every time you start the car, it'll go to 3 quick pulses to allow the tank to drain without you having to manually go under and drain the tank all the time. So it just gives a quick 3 bursts to get any water out. So the touchpad's obviously all functional. You've got your front bags, rear bags, back to your ride heights, your aired out height, handbrakes on, aired out height, and then when you take handbrake off, obviously returns back to the ride height. Yeah, so everything's sort of nice there and neat and functional. Obviously you can't adjust anything, so if you accidentally push it when the handbrake's off, it won't work. And yeah, and then you've got your lift, your manoeuvre height to get up steep driveways and whatnot. So yeah, everything's sort of there at your fingertips. Nice and easy to go from shifting to adjust to get up, and yeah, looks pretty neat. So that about does it for the explanation of a little bit of a catch up. Obviously, if I don't have that other footage that I was talking about, then I don't have much for the video. So let's kick it off with a few video shots and some slow-mos and whatever else to, yeah, finish off the GTR. Thanks,